Roncesvalles. Today is Saturday the 31st of August and I think that must be theoretically the last day of summer. So it's 15 degrees at the moment with an expected high of about 27 degrees and a 60% chance of rain. So it seems like I might have brought the rain with me from New Zealand. So it's a 21 kilometre walk today. A little bit of undulating terrain and then two really steep descents. So that will be a challenge. I'll have my eyes on my feet and my poles in my hands. But the good news is there's a number of small towns, so that means that on the way there is coffee and there's food. As you leave Roncesvalles, it's a very pleasant walk by the side of the road, and you pass the first important landmark, the Pilgrims Cross. So the path is continuing through a lovely woodland, and that's Marcus ahead. Marcus and I met at the first turn on the first day, and we've been passing each other backwards and forwards for the last 2.5 days. This is the small town of Burguete, first stop after 2 kilometres, famous as the breakfast place for pilgrims who have stayed at the hostel at Roncesvalles, and most famous for the fact that Ernest Hemingway resided here for a time. Spotted my pack in the back of that van. So after the super sharp right turn in the middle of Burguete, which many people miss, and Marcus did, over a cattle stop, and then there's a kind of a concrete road heading off hopefully into the shade. So now we're on the downhill to Espinal, and I have been walking with Leonardo, who is from Hawaii, and he's a Filipino-American.
Aloha.
Welcome to Espinal. This is Espinal. This means that we've walked 6 kilometres. Top of another hill. I couldn't resist stopping for lunch at the Dragon Cafe, El Dragon. Enjoyed a quiche, but the place, there was a dragon there because there were so many signs telling you what to do. WC for customers only, no picnic, don't put your bags on the chairs, don't hang your washing out to dry by the toilet. Please don't play the piano. Do not enter this room. There are dogs loose. Please do not enter. But my personal favourite, keep your clothes on. So having just left another wee town, we're out of the sun and back into the lovely shade. The famous rocky section begins. Downhill where you need to pick your way down the hill very, very slowly and carefully. And then suddenly there is an oasis in the desert. The oasis was a drinks caravan where I got to have a cold Coke Zero before we started back on the track again. Track just keeps on coming. And still it comes. I'm so pleased I transported my pack today. And then suddenly, when I had nothing more to give, Zubiri appeared. So after nearly 7 hours of walking, covering only 22 kilometres, I was there. It was super hot for a Kiwi though, because the temperature had been up to 28 degrees, and that's why the other pilgrims were in the river, cooling off, dipping their toes in the stream and soaking their legs. Zubiri is a charming town, and once again I'm staying in absolutely fabulous accommodation. I couldn't be happier. Today's blessing, the forecast rain did not eventuate, so that meant that those rocky paths stayed dry and weren't slippery, and everywhere we walked there was tons of shade, lovely, lovely green woodland. So that's me for the night. Good night.